Today's blog is something that I don't very often talk about, but I do live this reality on an ongoing basis. And I was just aware of an interview that Taylor Swift was giving, and she was mentioning the reality for a woman entrepreneur versus a man. And I do work with both. I don't have the type of business model where I will proclaim to strictly help women entrepreneur, because I do work with both men and women. With the type of work that I offer, it seems that I work with both. So this is not something that I talk about very often. But Taylor Swift it was very interesting how she was bringing the topic on how different it is perceived for a woman entrepreneur to do something versus a man entrepreneur. And if a woman does make a very intelligent business decision, she is calculated and sneaky. While when a man does the same style of business decision, he's strategic and professional. Interesting, right? When a woman is talking from her heart and she's sharing her emotion, she's oversharing. And if a man shows their emotion, they're brave. Interesting. So it seems that it's not even when it comes to men and women. And this is not new. I'm not bringing a new topic. I just thought that I was compelled to actually talk about it. I became aware of a lot of stats thanks to We Do Canada. Thanks for providing all these stats. And I was quite shocked. The small and medium enterprises with under 20 employees have been hit the hardest during the pandemic, and we know that. And women are more likely to own newer and smaller businesses, making them the most affected. So during the pandemic, the percentage of women-owned businesses that laid off staff is 40%. And it's about equal to the percentage of men-owned businesses overall that laid off staff. So that's kind of equal. However, the percentage of women-owned business that have laid off 80% of more of their employees is substantially greater than men. Interestingly enough, 62% for women that had to lay off 80% or more of their staff versus men during the pandemic. Now, another stat that was very interesting is connected to money. Women perform 66% of the world income, of the world's work. The women perform 66% of the world's work and only earn 10% of the world's income. Think about that. Interesting, right? So women account for 85% of consumer purchases, and they control over 20 trillion in worldwide spending. This is huge. Another stat, women are less likely to seek and receive financing than men, 33% versus 38%. And firms that are owned by men are more likely to receive venture capital or angel funding and other forms of leverage, such as trade credit, capital leasing, or whatever it is. So it seems that women have to work harder and do their own work, while men receive a lot more aid. Very interesting. Women wait until they check all the boxes on the job requirement description before they can apply, while men will apply if they have a bare 40% of the items that are required to apply for that job. And more likely, they will get the job. Interesting. Studies shows that by advancing that gender equality and women's participation in the economy, Canada could add up to 150 billion in GDP. So thank you, We Do, the Women's Entrepreneurship Day organization, that made me aware of all these stats. We Do is the largest non-governmental governmental volunteer organization. Their mission is to alleviate poverty by empowering, celebrating, and supporting women in business worldwide. We do works globally to empower women and girls. So they want them to become more active participants in the economy by igniting a network of women's leaders, innovators, entrepreneurs, initiate startups, drive economic expansion, advance communities around the world. We Do is celebrated at the United Stations, and it's in over 144 countries. Isn't that cool? 144 countries and 65 universities and college internationally. And when women are elevated financially, communities and countries prosper. It builds a global blueprint to alleviate and eradicate poverty. Since the first We Do, they have grown their organization to become a powerful network of women in business, and they've reached over 5 billion people. I had no clue. I did not know about We Do before. I just learned about them at the beginning of the month. This is incredible. We Do Canada Foundation has a woman entrepreneurial scholarship program that was created to increase awareness around the cause and mandate, and that can make a significant difference in the lives and in the success of future Canadians. So all these women entrepreneurs and leaders, this is a worldwide organization, but We Do Canada specifically offers young women Canadian leaders and entrepreneurs. So I was very impressed to hear all the great work that We Do is doing in the world and here in Canada. So way to go, We Do. Thank you for all these stats. I thought it was very interesting. I'm not sure what the solution is to all these inequalities and these perceptions that Taylor Swift was mentioning as well. And I do believe that We Do is part of the solution. So thank you for being there. And hopefully this allowed a little bit more awareness onto the topic. Have a great week, everyone.